So a bit of a bulky one.
Mm.
So tell me about your journey as a Liverpool fan. How did it start? Why did you choose Liverpool? And I guess, was there a moment in your journey as a Liverpool fan where you questioned that decision?
Oh, sick question again. So how I became a Liverpool fan. So I'd say I started supporting Liverpool when I was about 4. The first game I'd watched live or watched as a child from start to finish was Liverpool versus Arsenal when Fowler scored the hat trick in 4 minutes. So before that, my brother's older than me. He's 11 years older than me, and he's the first person I ever looked up to in life. And I love my brother to bits. Like, we're like best friends, innit? So like, he supports Liverpool as well, but he's not like a massive football guy. But like, he would mention them. So obviously, me being that little kid who looks up to his older brother, you'd hear Liverpool be mentioned. So it's always at the back of my mind. When I watched that game and I saw what Fowler was doing, I was just like, okay, that's Fowler's my guy. And then I saw McManaman as well. I was like, oh, that's my guy as well. And then Owen broke through, and I was like, yeah, this is my team. So from the age of 4, I was like, I knew I supported them. But then as I got older and started to understand football a bit more, I was like, yeah, this is definitely my team. And then obviously the influence of John Barnes, my family's Jamaican, got Jamaican roots all through me. So it's like, you hear about the stories of John Barnes, and even like family members who aren't Liverpool fans, they're still speaking about John Barnes in high regard and speaking about that Liverpool team with Aldridge and Beardsley and all them guys. And it's like, yeah, this is my team, man. And have I ever questioned being a Liverpool fan? Honestly, no, I haven't. I've I'd consider myself quite a loyal person, sometimes to a fault, but I'm a very loyal person. If I'm in, I'm in. Unless like I think the only thing that could stop me being a Liverpool supporter is if any sort of like crazy allegations about them came out that were proven to be true, like something to do with like race or stuff like that. Otherwise, yeah, I'll ride it out, man. Like, I get how football is now. I'm old enough to know that you have your peaks and your low points. God willing, I don't have too many more low points because I don't know if my heart can take it at this age. But like, I football for me is a big part of my life, and I think growing up, well, without going too much in my story, my dad weren't about in it, but like me having 2 young sons now, and I'm able to take them football on a Saturday morning. And bro, I kid you not, bro, I sit there sometimes. I'm like, bro, I feel really privileged. I'm able to sit there and just watch my kids play a little bit of football. Do you know what I mean? And they're only 4, they're 5 and 3 years old, so it's not even like they're kicking ball at a mad level or anything. But I just love football. I can be in any room. If I hear football in the background, I'm like, where's the TV? And it's like, and I think I've made some of my best friends through football. Like, bro, we're friends because of football. I think
Exactly.
people sleep on that. Like,
Yeah.
I can walk into a room full of strangers. If I hear someone speaking about football, I'm like, we've got a common
Common ground.
ground here.
Yeah.
So I think
You know that there's, regardless of anything else, like the
there's something.
personality of the person, their other interests, the background they come from, their life story. You just know if we was to sit down in that moment, we
Yeah.
can form a connection based off of football. And then obviously, I guess once you start talking about the football, you find out, okay, I don't know if I quite like this person
Yeah.
because this person, he's talking a bit of rubbish. But
Yeah.
usually, do you know what I kind of, do you know what's a kind of like a kind of big kind of footballing kind of like experience for me is obviously I grew up in North London. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Edmonton, Tottenham, those kind of areas. And when I was young, I would always go to barbers in Tottenham,
Yeah.
innit? And literally, whenever you go into the West Indian barbers, them man, they're cutting your hair, but they're taking like an hour longer than what they should do because
Yeah.
they're all just talking about what happened in the
Yeah.
football. They're all talking about it, and it's like and like when you're a kid, yeah. So when you're a kid, like your attention span is like crazy low, and you're just like, oh, come on, man, hurry up, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So long. But as you get older, I say maybe into your teen years, because you're kind of fully locked into football as well.
Yeah.
It's like you're listening to the elders kind of preach, and you're taking in the knowledge of what
Yeah.
they're saying, and it's like, oh yeah, I watched that game, and then maybe you get involved in the conversation. And I think a
And
lot
I
of
look
people may
forward to,
not know
because of
this.
what you're saying, I look forward to going to the barbers for that now.
Exactly. And a lot of people may not get it if, cause I don't know, because obviously I don't really know too much about I would assume the same thing kind of happens wherever there's like Caribbean people
Yeah.
inside of like England or the UK, but I'm not so sure how that kind of translates to like people abroad. And I don't know how that culture, I would imagine maybe so with a different sport, but really like I don't think people understand how big like the West Indian like community is inside of football. And I mean, you've already mentioned it with the likes of John Barnes, and like he brought in like a big wave of like West Indians into supporting Liverpool. And then obviously you have the likes of like Ian Wright, David Rocastle, like they're and then not really, well, I mean, not really Jamaican, but Henri brought in a massive wave of like black fans into Arsenal, and literally now to the point like Arsenal specifically, like the roots are so deep into like black culture that like you'll go to Notting Hill Carnival and virtually everybody's wearing an Arsenal
top. Yeah,
like, literally, like it just, and for me that's something that I don't know, me like obviously I'm only half, but for me that's something like that community aspect and that kind of cultural aspect, for me to be able to acknowledge that in my football club, that let's have it right, like outside of our family and maybe a few of our like closest friends, it's the longest relationship that we have in life. You know that it's probably the first thing you're married to if you're like through sickness and health. Hey, when I've been in great health, when I've been sick, I've been an Arsenal fan till death do us part. I'll be an Arsenal fan till I die. You'll be a Liverpool fan until you die. So it's literally the first thing you're married to. And you know, I think like it says a lot about your character to have like never really questioned, I guess, your faith in your support of your club. Because I mean, let's be honest, like there was probably a massive period of your life where you was just so eager for the Premier League, like you just hungry for starving for the Premier League. Like you seen your team win what people regard as the biggest honor in club football multiple times, but it's like you're probably having conversation with your Manchester United friends and your Arsenal friends, and then maybe even your Chelsea friends, and they're saying, "Hey, man, where's that Prem? Like, you can't really talk to us until you have that." And especially the Manchester United fans, they're like, "Yeah, you've won the Champions League, but so have we." So for you to not waver, that's insane. Like, I don't think I've completely wavered, but there was a period, I would say, towards the latter part of Wenger's career, where I was like, I've kind of had enough. Like, and I was like, you know what? Bun Arsenal, bun football. I'm gonna go and watch basketball. And then literally within like missing 2 Arsenal games,
I was you back in it.
Oh, okay, no, cool. I'll go back. I'm sorry, Arsenal. I'm sorry. And I'm watching the games that I missed on replay, and I'm like, oh damn, like that. Okay, and I'm fully locked in now. And I think for me, that was a moment where I realized it's only ever gonna be Arsenal for me, innit?